I think that the Russians have a deep-seated interest in working with the Iranians and helping the Iranians deal with Israel and deal with the United States. I mean, what's really happened here, if you think about it, is the United States, Europe, and Israel, those sort of three blocs working together, have forced Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea all close together. They form a big bloc themselves. And the Russians and the Chinese, they're working closely together. And the Russians are the ones who are working closely with the Iranians. The Russians understand they have a vested interest in helping Iran. And of course, Iran is helping Russia as well. We know how Iran has given Russia all those drones and has been giving Russia drones for a long time now. So I think the Russians are helping the Iranians, but I don't know exactly what's going on in terms of this agreement that they're said to be formulating.
John Mearsheimer's analysis points to a crucial shift in global alliances, where we see a distinct polarization between two major coalitions. On one side, the United States, Europe, and Israel, and on the other, Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. This alignment, as Mearsheimer suggests, has not only brought these nations closer but has also set the stage for a power bloc that challenges the current global order. The global arena has evolved into a theater of competition between these coalitions, with shared interests binding each side more closely. For the U.S., Europe, and Israel, the primary objectives have been to limit the influence of nations like Russia and Iran in their respective regions. These powers are striving to uphold a world order that favors Western political and economic dominance. On the other hand, Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea have forged stronger ties in response, bound by common grievances against perceived Western hegemony and interference. This coalition, while not formalized, represents a significant power shift, highlighting a world that is becoming increasingly multipolar. By standing together, these countries not only challenge Western influence, but also offer each other economic, military, and diplomatic support. Russia's close relationship with Iran has become particularly vital. Historically, Russia has maintained an interest in supporting Iran's regional aspirations, especially as U.S. and Israeli policies directly challenge Iran's autonomy and security. This relationship is not one-sided. Iran has supplied Russia with drones, providing critical support to Russian forces in conflict zones such as Ukraine. These drones have become essential for Russia, as they add a new dimension to its military capabilities, especially in surveillance and targeted strikes. Furthermore, Iran's drone technology has rapidly advanced, earning it a reputation as a capable and self-reliant developer of unmanned aerial systems, U.S. Iran's supply of these drones to Russia serves a dual purpose. It helps Russia sustain its own military efforts while showcasing Iran's technical and strategic contributions to the coalition. In essence, the Iran-Russia partnership is built on mutual benefits and a shared vision of countering U.S. influence in both the Middle East and Eastern Europe. Mearsheimer emphasizes that China's involvement in this coalition is equally significant. While China may not be as directly involved in Middle Eastern conflicts, its role as an economic powerhouse gives it leverage that supports Russia and Iran. China's Belt and Road Initiative has deepened economic ties with both Iran and Russia, ensuring that these nations are economically resilient against Western sanctions. In addition, China's diplomatic influence has extended to critical areas, such as facilitating talks between rival Middle Eastern nations. Last year, China brokered a historic peace agreement between Iran and Saudi Arabia, underscoring its commitment to stability in the region and its desire to counterbalance U.S. influence. By fostering diplomacy where the West has often struggled, China solidifies its role as a balancing force in the coalition, enhancing the stability and unity of this bloc. North Korea's involvement in this coalition adds a unique dimension, primarily in military and technical support. While North Korea's economy is relatively isolated, its expertise in missile technology has been shared with both Iran and, to a lesser extent, Russia. This sharing of technology strengthens each nation's defense capabilities and adds another layer of deterrence against Western intervention. Furthermore, North Korea's presence in this coalition is a symbolic statement against U.S. influence in the Asia-Pacific region. It serves as a reminder that the coalition extends beyond the Middle East and Eastern Europe, reaching into East Asia, where U.S. military presence has long been a point of contention. North Korea's active role underscores the coalition's commitment to challenging U.S. dominance on multiple fronts. The emergence of this coalition signifies more than just regional alliances. It highlights the profound changes in the structure of international relations. The unification of these nations represents a shift toward a world where power is not solely concentrated in the hands of Western nations. Instead, countries once sidelined in global decision-making are now asserting themselves, backed by mutual support that challenges Western influence. This coalition has far-reaching implications for global stability. As these countries align against Western policies, we see a new kind of deterrence, one that limits the U.S. and its allies' ability to act unilaterally. The increasing connectivity between these nations, through economic ties, military cooperation, and intelligence sharing, makes it more challenging for the West to isolate any single nation without risking a broader backlash from the coalition. Mearsheimer's perspective suggests that these alignments are here to stay, as the motivations driving each coalition remain strong. The coalition of Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea provides each member with critical support, reducing their vulnerability to Western pressure and promoting a vision of multipolarity. Meanwhile, the U.S., Europe, and Israel find themselves in a position where their policies may need re-evaluation to account for the resilience of this opposing bloc. This opposition is further solidified by the complex interdependence of these nations' security, economic, and technological interests. As Mearsheimer alludes to, these connections are likely to deepen over time, as each nation sees benefits in supporting the others. The U.S. and its allies may find it increasingly difficult to rely on traditional strategies like sanctions or diplomatic isolation, as these methods are now met with countermeasures supported by a vast, transcontinental network of alliances. The question remains, will the U.S. and its allies adapt to this changing landscape, or will they continue with policies that may inadvertently drive these nations closer together? Mearsheimer's analysis offers a stark reminder of the stakes involved in this global standoff, suggesting that the formation of these blocs could lead to a prolonged period of tension and competition. According to John Mearsheimer, I believe the Russians have a strong interest in cooperating with Iran to counter both Israel and the United States. What we're seeing is that the U.S., Europe, and Israel, acting as a combined bloc, have, in turn, brought Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea closer together, forming a unified front of their own. Russia and China are working closely, and Russia, in particular, has forged a close relationship with Iran. Russia recognizes its vested interest in supporting Iran, and Iran has reciprocated, supplying Russia with drones for quite some time. So, while it's clear that Russia is assisting Iran, the specifics of any formal agreement they might be developing remain uncertain. Thanks for watching.